Hey guys, a lot of you guys have asked me about master mode and you wanted some tips, so I'm going to give you a few tips in this video. What some good comps are when you're trying to get further in master mode. I just reached episode 4, which is the last episode available right now. There's currently 4 episodes. I'm sure they're going to have 5, 6, 7, 8 possibly coming out the next update. And if you check out 4, like there are some good soulstones here. We're looking at pumpkin pie, cotton cookie. Look, they even have eclair, cookie, and tea night. So some really awesome soulstones that you can get here if you want to try to ascend these characters. I know a lot of you guys are stuck here in the first world. So typically what you should run in the first world is a team like this, Summoner's Comp. Now, I have Dark Cacao right now, and I'll show you in a later video, because Dark Cacao is good in the later worlds, like Chapter 3, because Dark Cacao has the ability to take away the shield that some of the enemies run. But you can also run Holly Berry, because Holly Berry is so tanky, by far the tankiest tank that we have, and can absorb so much of that damage. And if you want to run a full Summoner's comp and do more damage, run Werewolf Cookie, right? Play this level as an example. So what I typically do is I just run it on auto, just so I don't forget to press any of the character skill levels, and then just press the skill levels when you see them, right? Auto just helps you because, hey, you might be focused on pressing pumpkin and you might have forgotten about oyster, right? And you're just trying to pump them out as much as possible. Now, in between, don't actually click, right? You want to make sure that you have your summons happen right before the next waves. This is actually a really easy level, so it's not much of a challenge. I am using Espresso Cookie here because Espresso Cookie for me is so powered up and does that huge DPS. You can also use Eclair Cookie here instead of Espresso if you have Eclair Cookie leveled up. Also, Licorice, right? If you're going full Summoner's Comp, Licorice puts out more minions, you get more Summoner damage. So as you can see, the Summoner Comp just absolutely rolls over these enemies, makes Master, especially the first Master level 1 and World 2 super easy. But there are those stages where they have the permanent stun cycle, and I'm going to show you that next and how to beat that. So 110 can be hard because of these dire cake hogs. What ends up happening is they are at the very end of the stage and they will stun your team permanently. Beat this stage is I used Holly Berry because Holly Berry has that ability to push the hogs back a little bit, right? It gives your team a break from the stun. Also, what you can do is use the monocle, because the monocle, when it goes and activates, it's gonna also dispel that stun and gives your team the ability to activate their skills, right? So I'm gonna give it a try. It's been a little while since I've beaten 110, 2 or 3 days. I think this team is gonna work great. But for the most part, most of these stages in Master, you're going to want to use Summoner's Comp. If you do not have the Summoner, the Seamstress treasure leveled up, you're going to want to get that leveled. So here we are, just stunning me non-stop. See, I can't even get my skills activated, right? I'm just waiting for the monocle, and then I'm going to have Holly Berry do a little bit of a pushback. And then you just got to press the skills as fast as possible. So I did some decent damage there. See, it's just this permanent stun, which is also nice when you're using the monocle, because the monocle is gonna give you that life heal. See, and I was able to get all 5 skills off again. Slowly whittling down the damage. Takes a little patience, but it'll get you the 3-star win. Alright, let's go, come on! You gotta keep an eye. Sometimes they are able to avoid that skill. Pumpkin pie right here. See, you just randomly get some attacks off, even without the monocle. Okay, they're almost beat now. But this is definitely a slow process. A little bit annoying. And then once you get one beat, the second one is beat pretty easily. So that's how I got past this permanent stun. here at the end of 110. And then here at 325, switch out to Dark Cacao. You get a little bit of extra damage if you look at the skill set for Dark Cacao. And it's not just at the end of 325, there are actually a lot of enemies that use the HP shield here. You'll see specifically at the bottom here, zap 3% damage every 1.0 seconds for 9 seconds and nullifies the HP shield, right? That HP shield makes it take a lot longer to destroy the enemies you're fighting. So if you don't have to worry about that HP shield, it's a pretty easy win. And the final boss does take a little bit of time to kill, but like I said, Dark Cacao helps you because Dark Cacao is going to get through the first couple wave of enemies a little faster, especially with that HP shield. And then you just fight the boss and whittle the boss down. I probably could have brought Vamp to do a little extra damage to the boss and go a little faster. That would have helped. So here's another example. This does have a boss at the end with an HP shield. I'm using Vamp to do a little bit of extra damage there at the end. Switching out Pumpkin Pie. But you still want to use the Seamstress Pincushion, right? Because you want your summons to stay out there long, for sure. And Summoner's Comp just absolutely kicks butt in Master because the summon creatures soak up so much of the damage. If you don't have some of the summon creatures out there to soak up the damage, your team will get absolutely shredded really fast. So, Dark Cacao is nice up front too because Dark Cacao is a little tankier than Werewolf Cookie. If you have the Dark Cacao, you can always go with Hollyberry as well. But I'm specifically using Dark Cacao on this stage because there is a HP shield group of enemies here at the end. You can see them. They have ×3. Oh, the HP shield is not coming off on these enemies. But still, with Summoner's Comp, no problem. Shredded them pretty fast. So in this case, Hollyberry might have been a better choice because that wasn't an HP shield. That was a different type of shield, so I didn't get to take that shield off. So those are my basic teams, right? Like, I'm basically using this team with Pumpkin Pie or Vamp, switched in and out. I'm using the Seamstress Pincushion, try to level that up as much as you possibly can. Go to the mileage shop and buy those treasure tickets and get that leveled up if you're trying to go further and master, right? And you want to get to a certain point in master because you can then farm some of those Vamp Soulstones, Espresso Soulstones, some of the Soulstones I showed you in World 3, right? Like those Ascension Soulstones are really going to help you upgrade to Ascension level 1, Ascension level 2. So I'm also looking at a comp like this. If you need a little bit stronger tanks up front, you can run this comp. I beat a few levels with this, right? I had 2 tanks up front that could soak up a lot of damage. I still had some summoned units with Cotton's little sheep up front absorbing some of the damage. But then I also had Vamp and Espresso that hit really hard and ran the Monaco because I'm not going to run the Pinstripe or the Seamstress Pin when I'm only running 1 Summoner's unit, right? Also, I didn't show you World 3. World 3 has some pretty good Ascended Soulstones. We got Sword-Based Shark, Rye Cookie is pretty good in Cookie Alliance, Parfait Cookie, who's an amazing cookie, right? Herb Cookie is pretty decent. Even have Dark Cacao, which is a excellent guild boss battle cookie. World 2 is not that great outside of Vampire, for being honest. And then World 1, Espresso Cookie is definitely one that I'll be farming. Licorice Cookie is still pretty decent, right? Like if you do not have a huge DPS dealer powered up, you don't have Eclair, you don't have even like Sea Fairy, Espresso, you can put Licorice as that additional cookie, right? Have even more summoned units out there getting that additional damage, additional duration. Then you have a whole team of summoned units. I did use Licorice partly through episode 1, and Licorice Cookie is actually very good, very viable in that format. Pomegranate here, right? Pomegranate very viable in the arena right now. So a lot of good Ascended Soulstones in Master. If you guys have any questions, let me know. For the most part, I'm just kind of using this Summoner's Comp with Espresso and kind of grinding through all the levels, and it's not been that bad, but obviously my cookie is a little more overpowered. I have a little more HP from my landmarks. I have a little bit more additional bonus stats from my labs, from my bonds, from my statue, right? Because I've been playing the game for a while than some of you might have. So some of these levels that look really easy for my cookies might be a little bit more difficult for your cookies. Anyways, thanks for checking out this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope these tips helped you out.